Good evening and welcome to Great Deltan. This is a layout update for November, as I've been in here quite a lot recently. I managed to be in here about 3 or 4 times a week, so this is really an update of how the layout is progressing. We shall start over by the station area. Haven't really been focusing on this area too much because I've been doing the other side, but I just wanted to start laying some of the platform edging. As you can see, that's all been done. That's just been stuck down with Loctite. Oh no, it's Gorilla Glue actually. And I've been using these Mark III coaches here for reference, as they're the longest things I'll have on the layout, so they'll have the biggest overhang. And I tested it to make sure it goes around all the edges okay without catching. So there's that bit there. Do need to get some more edges to run along that back platform, because that would be the longest one. Roughly 14 coaches long, or probably about 12 actually. Coming around here, nothing else has really been done, although I have taken up some of the previous sidings as I didn't really like them. Changed my mind about that. And I've just left that point vacant. Haven't yet decided what I'm going to replace it with. Might be a 2-track or 3-track little engine shed, or just a storage unit. Right, so the biggest changes have really been in this section here. Obviously that's looking quite brown at the minute, because I've just gone over it with the Woodland and Scenics paint, the earth undercoat. I've done 1 layer on it. What I will do is probably double layer a lot of the vertical faces, because they won't receive any turf. So they'll just be sort of rock faces and mudslides. The plan is to cover it initially with a mixture of the Woodland Scenics earth and soil turf, and then on top of that will be static grass, and then all the bushes and trees will be laid on top of that then in the fine details. So I'm currently just having a break on the spending, because the Woodland Scenic stuff isn't cheap, so I'll probably get some of that from the Worley show. Or let's see if I can find something on eBay. So that's the main landscape at the minute. Obviously I've laid the track and the incline for the branch line there, and ballasted all that up there. And that goes all the way around now, so it's completely ballasted the track all the way to the station. And then I just need to connect it up from there down to here. I'm going to have to put a couple of feeds in as well, just to make sure that's got the power it needs. Something else I need to fix is that monstrosity down there. It's a bit messy with the mod rock, unfortunately, and it did drip quite a lot on the track. A lot of it's also gone on this retaining wall when I was doing this part of the landscape. The way I built the landscape, as you can see here, is using this polystyrene insulation. It's I think it's 40mm thick, so I've just cut that with a jab saw, PVA glued it down, and then gone over it with the mod rock in about 3 or 4 layers, and then I've obviously just painted it. The track is on a piece of balsa wood, as that's quite flexible, you can see down here. So I just glued that into place and then glued the track down, as it doesn't really like to be pressed down too much by nailing it down. And then that's obviously all laid. Up here, the farm scene, I've laid out where I want all the buildings and then I've drawn around them. So I can go around it with the turf I'm going to use, which will probably be a soil and earth sort of mix, just like a muddy track really. Over here I'll have a plant crossing, probably just made of matchsticks or something like that, and then obviously a couple of hills around the back. I'll surround that with a nice wooden fence. And then coming down here, got the tunnel portals again. I did spill quite a lot of the mod rock liquid on that, so they were quite covered in white, so I used quite a few cotton buds and just cleaned all them up. A lot of that will be covered in bushes and foliage, so you shouldn't be able to really see any white. That down there will have to be painted again. And then along the retaining wall, there's a few little splashes of mud rock liquid, so I've just put quite a few of these bushes in. I don't think it looks too bad, to be honest. Looks like it's quite a bit of a weathered scene, like there's some bushes growing out of the old wall, so that looks okay. And then down here we've got the warehouse area, so I've laid this cobblestone sort of pathway effect. That's just the sheet material from Metcalf. Stuck that down with some PVA. The warehouse isn't yet stuck down because I might do some more markings around it. I've done a little loading bay. Also you can see some of the white from the mod rock, which I might have to paint over again or try and wipe up. And that bit of gorilla tape is just for the reference for the car park. Probably the car parking spaces along this edge, and then probably a couple in front of the windows as well. Executive parking. Moving along, I've started to do some of the road markings. The way I do it is I just use gorilla tape and then use a bit of acrylic to paint on the white lines. Always paint away from the masking tape so you don't get under the tape, because that's what I did up here. That was meant to be a hatch line, but it's ended up with a long straight line and a couple of hatches because the paint went under the tape and it just sort of all connected up after that. So that's the bottom half of the scene. Along the back will just be overgrowth, a bit of weeds, just a nice sort of green area to surround it. And then this is the part where I've done the most detail and the most work, is the village scene. I've bought some vehicles now. They're good for referencing for car parking and road width. So all those terraced houses now are stuck down. I've done all the road markings up to the car park as well. And then I've done the station front with a nice wall there. And then I've sprayed the, I think the GWR station fencing, but I've just sprayed it in aluminium spray paint so it looks like metal corrugated fencing. And I've just surrounded that, and then I've done a bit around here as well just to sort of section off the railway so people can't trespass. Signal box, that's now stuck down with the little shed. Probably be a load of bushes in there. And then I've obviously surrounded that with the fence as well. I've trialled some of the lichen stuff here. I'm not sure if I'll keep it or not. I want to see how it looks compared to the other bushes that I'll do. I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube. New Junction, Everard Junction and Dean Park Junction. They sort of give me a good idea of how to get the best sort of look. And this is just my own doing at the minute, so I might take that back up or might not. We'll see how it goes. Station fencing is all done. Nice little overgrowth there, and this little pathway that goes behind the terraced houses is done. Might put a couple of little details down there. Burnt out car or something. Or the station is obviously, well, I'll add a few more details to that. I'll probably have some lampposts, station signs, benches, bins, that sort of thing. Probably a couple of flower pots. Make the place look presentable. And then, pretty sure that's about it at the minute. I just wanted to give an update before I did too much more and can't remember what exactly I've done. So in a couple of weeks time will be the Whalley show. I'm probably going to have a spending spree there, pick up a load of stuff. I've got a list as long as my arm. It's mainly detail stuff, a lot of scenery, things like pallets, bins, lampposts, a lot of the N-gauge stuff that I can't find in my local model shop. So that'll be that, and then hopefully if I've got a bit left over, we'll grab some stock. Might grab a couple more intermodal wagons, and then hopefully if I can find a nice DMU or EMU, I'll grab that as well. So yeah, that's the November update. It's looking a bit better. I'm not probably going to do a back scene. As I said, this is only it's not a quick layout, but it's a more of a practice layout, so I won't do a back scene. I mean, the shed skin's white anyway, so it's not the worst look in the world. And then I do need to do a bit of tidying here. There's a lot of clutter. If I do want to run some locos for the next video, I'll have to clear the track. I think that's everything. Right, goodbye till next time, and thank you for watching.